We've reached the nightcap in CHSAA's baseball quadruple header here at All City Stadium on the CHSAA TV network. Fans filing in for 5A state championship action here at All City in Denver, Colorado. The Cherry Creek Bruins, winners earlier today over the Regis Jesuit Raiders, taking on the Legend Titans. The fans coming in, gorgeous weather throughout the weekend of play here on Memorial Day weekend. Fans excited for this one. Josh Gross alongside Neil Devlin with you here on CHSAA.tv. And Neil, an established, well-respected Cherry Creek program, and on the other side, Legend Titans looking for their first state title.
Absolutely, the classic matchup. I mean, we have Cherry Creek, the largest school in Colorado, well-versed in every sport. I mean, if you look at the book that details all the state championships by school and by year, they have more than one page, and no one's close in it, by the way. And then Legend, which is playing in its fourth varsity season. As you may know, down there, Parker continues to just mushroom, growth-wise, and they've done so well. They had a really nice basketball year. Now they're in the final. It'll be interesting to see how they react to it for the first time.
The head coach for the Bruins is Mark Johnson. He's got more than 3 decades on the bench. For Creek, the athletic director, Darren Knox. And the school colors, scarlet and royal blue. On the other side, it's Scott Fellers. A 19-5 squad for Legend. They came in undefeated into action yesterday. Lost and set up this final here. That was decided between Regis and Cherry Creek. The Titans, the 5 seed, Cherry Creek, the 1. A 14-game winning streak by the Titans that was snapped on Friday after a 5-4 start to the season. Pitching this afternoon for the Titans is Tyler Honahan. Honahan 9-2 on the season, a 2.19 ERA. 5 games of double-digit strikeouts, Neil.
Yeah, he's got big heat. He knows how to locate the ball. Sometimes it doesn't look like he's throwing as hard as he is, but everybody who's got guns on him and faces him agrees that he's got some smoke. Now, as a left-hander on the high school level, because they don't have the velocity and location of left-handers, the left on left isn't that big of a deal. But this kid at least flirts with it, I think.
Derek Beaupre gets the nod from Mark Johnson. Beaupre, the big junior. And now the playing of our national anthem.
Before the national anthem, ladies and gentlemen, as we enter the Memorial Day weekend and celebrate the crowning of today's state baseball champions, we ask that you rise and observe a moment of silence for those many heroes who have lost their lives over the past 230 years defending our freedom. Thank you.
Honahan, the southpaw to deliver. Swing and a miss by Kang, that'll do it. A strikeout to end the top of the first, but Creek gets 2 across. A leadoff single by Muka, he scores. Milligan, a base knock as well, he comes in. It's 2-0 Bruins as we head to the home half of the first. Take a look now before we jump away at the base knock by Milligan that took the feet out of Honahan. That was the first run to come in, and Milligan, who had the hit there, scored as well. Here's the Jenkins at bat with the wild pitch that gets away, and that's the one that brought in Milligan. 2-0 Creek. Bottom of the first awaits.
Battery for the Bruins. Doing the catching, number 12, Wayne Milligan. And the starting pitcher, number 25, Derek Beaupre.
Back at All City Stadium, the baseball diamond. Creek picks up 2 on a couple of base hits, a couple of stolen bases, and a couple of wild pitches thrown from Tyler Honahan. Now it's Derek Beaupre's turn on the mound. Hasn't pitched in a month for Coach Johnson's squad. He gets the nod here in the title game. 9 earned runs. Batters hitting .260 against him, reaching base 35% of the time.
Derek's going to have to settle in early, I think, for him to get some length pitching into this game. But, you know, he's so interesting athletically that only a fool would underestimate him. I mean, look at him. He's strapping, he's big, he's strong. He can really throw it. He's athletic. Once, I think if he settles in, he'll be fine.
Connor Orgill is the leadoff man for Coach Feller's squad. He looks at a strike as the count leveled at 1.
Isn't it amazing how the series has gone early, particularly for Legend? They won their first 3 games by an aggregate 8-3. Think about that in high school baseball.
Look out in the stands. Beautiful facility, but I'll tell you what, there have been some line drives that the fencing is pretty high behind home plate, but it dips down closer to the dugouts. And if you're coming to All City, whether you're looking to catch a ball or not, I'd say bring a glove.
Well, you know, it's been the same way forever, and Rockies people have issues there too. I believe the following. Look, if you're going to come to the game, and the game is actually happening, where they're pitching live and balls in play, you have to pay attention. You know, we have cell phones, we have conversations, we have texting, we have computers, whatever. But if you're going to sit where you're unguarded, you have to pay attention. It's that simple.
Down low. But Neil, when I have my nachos in one hand and I'm taking a dip of the cheese sauce, it creates a problem.
Then you have a decision to make, you know.
I've spilled the nachos before. I've been that guy. Orgill slowly rolled. Beaupre tries to make a play off it, bounces off the mound quickly and shows off that athleticism you spoke of. 1-3 on the scorecard. Orgill is retired.
Yeah, make no mistake, he's tall and he's long and he's gangly to a degree, but he knows he's in control of his body. Watch. Steps and fires. Exactly.
Pivoted off that right leg and threw a strike to Griffin Jacks.
His hand-eye coordination is that of a 5'10" kid in a taller body, I think.
Tanner Thompson, the shortstop, looks at ball 1 low, a .338 hitter.
He's also the kind of kid, I think, that, you know, for what I know, and I can't figure out these scout people, and, you know, I'm not on the level, obviously, but it'd be interesting to see if he's a position player or they want to see him hit.
To the shortstop, Hyder. Easy throw across the diamond, 2 away.
Or I should say pitch. I mean, he's got a big body. If you look at Major League pitchers today, not only are they checking how big Mom is, but they like the bigger bodied guys, you know, to be able to throw multiple innings as opposed to, you know, just some guy coming out of the bullpen or something.
Bobby Dahlbeck. He of great stature, 6'4", 220. And a fastball strike from Beaupre.
Bobby and Derek are similar. Derek's a converted shortstop. Bobby's still over there. Bobby's tremendously athletic as well.
But 6'4", you never would have been a shortstop maybe 30 years ago, but you look this day and age, a good number of them that are 6'2" to 6'5".
You know, Jimmy Rollins now is an exception. Yeah, he's real short. There he is.
Beaupre, 0-1. Took something off and got Dahlbeck swinging. Beaupre, a 1-2-3 inning. 1 in the books. 2-0 Creek here on CHSAA.tv. It's been windy all day today at All City Stadium. It's played a part, especially in that 4A championship game won by Broomfield over Air Academy. A couple of balls that were tough catches and a couple misjudged even by the outfielders as the wind continues to swirl. It was going right to left a moment ago. Now it's blowing straight in towards the batter as the designated hitter Matt Rindahl leads off for the Bruins with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and you know what, too? It was a hot wind, like it was coming out of an oven or something like that.
Not something that's needed here in Denver. Back east with the humidity, that hot wind, you'll take it to cool you off.
Yes, you will.
Honahan high and tight, 1-0.
Yeah, we'll see if Honahan can settle in here. You have 2 runs in the first inning, big deal. Lots of baseball left. He gets rocking and rolling, gives his offense a chance, and they'll be okay.
That one's in there for a called strike. Half of Rindahl's hits this season have gone for extra bases. Power to the gaps. Swing and fouled off to the right side, 1-2. For those not familiar with Colorado High School baseball rules, a designated hitter allowed to replace one position player. That'll beat Zach Taylor today, the second baseman for the Bruins, who won't have a bat in his hand. Honahan on the curveball. Chopper to Thompson to first for an out.
Nice big ground ball. Easy hop for the second baseman. Almost like in pregame warm-ups when they're taking infield. There isn't a infielder out there who doesn't like those kind of big hops.
Now Andy Hyder. 3:23 coming in. And Neil, he's had a special weekend here at All City. He's going to remember this Memorial Day, especially if he can cap it off with the title.
For as long as he breathes, as far as I'm concerned, because I asked him that specifically yesterday. He had just missed that line drive where he could have taken, the inning away. He comes up, gets his first walk-off hit. I mean, and he knocked in all 3 runs yesterday, too.
And he continued it this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of big at-bats where he's come through, no doubt about it. He's reached base. That's the object of the game.
He's well ahead in the count here, 3-0. Does he have the green light? He takes a look. And Honahan dropping in a fastball on the outside corner.
I would imagine many guys on Cherry Creek, other than Beaupre, maybe Jacks, have the green light in that, make him throw you a strike. I think that's how Mark approaches the game.
The 3-1. Going back for it, Baird over the shoulder, making the catch. Nice play by the first baseman for the Titans to retire Hyder, something that's been tough for pitching staffs facing the shortstop.
Well, as with most fielders, it's a lot easier to come in than it is to go back. And for these infielders, because there isn't a lot of room in foul territory, generally speaking, in high school parks, it's a little limited.
Now the number 9 man, the sophomore Grant Farrell. The left fielder looks at a ball high, 1-0. 271 on the season. 2 for 3 with an infield single on Friday. Fouled off. 1-1.
Cherry Creek's also one of those teams, although everybody can do this, but make no mistake, you can really get hurt at the bottom of the order.
Farrell squares around, jammed on the bunt attempt for a hit. Flares that one in front of his dugout, and the on-deck man, Dylan Muka. It drops foul, 1-2.
Another fouled off bunt attempt.
For me, it's been one of the top 3 storylines of the weekend. You referenced the bats, and it's amazing with these tremendous batting averages and on-base percentages for so many of these players on these top teams. The fundamentals sometimes lack, and they've done that this weekend. And it can cost you a run or maybe more.
Yeah, it's a game of execution and consistency, and it is something that you can practice over and over again. A lot of kids have to. They should be doing just that because, I mean, you know, not only home runs can win you games, yeah, but so can bunts.
Hanahan's 1-2 delivery is wide. Count even at 2 apiece. After the first 2 runners reached in the first inning and scored, it's been 2 quick outs here to start the second. Hanahan maybe getting into his groove a bit. Popped up, shallow center. Dahlbeck makes the call and the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Hanahan. 1.5 in the books. 2-0 Bruins as the Titans send the 4, 5, 6 batters Jenkins, Baird, and Hanahan to the plate on the other side of this break. Fans, don't adjust your TV sets. That's just the gusty breeze here this afternoon. The lights have come on now at All City Stadium. Not that it's needed as of yet, but in preparation as the sun begins to set on the western mountainous skyline. And that one hits the top of the press box, and the shadow, Neil, you can see starts to drift toward the right-hand batter's box.
Yeah, about another 10, 15 feet or so, it will get interesting. The hitters will be in the shadows, the pitchers in the sun. And I think you know what that means.
Jake Jenkins, watch the ball in the dirt, a senior who had 3 groundouts yesterday, a .299 batting average entering play.
This wind is really strange, by the way. This was one of the most sane springs I've witnessed since I've been here in 1980. And I got to tell you, not only was it pleasant and dry and everything, but for me, the biggest thing was we didn't have the wind tunnel effect that we had for so many years in a row previously.
Ground ball, second base. Couple hops, Taylor, Fields fires, 1 away. And if you're going to be Zach Taylor, going to make those plays in the field in front of Derek Beaupre. You usually share the right side of the infield with him. Mike Baird into the box. Looks at ball 1. The first baseman here this afternoon. He plays all over the infield. .368 hitter who gets on base at a .405 clip.
Legend needs a first base runner just to break the ice.
The first 4 have been retired. 3 on groundouts, 1 on a strikeout to Dahlbeck. The ball yet to reach the outfield. Late cut and a miss by Baird, well behind the fastball from Beaupre. The 1-2 just inside. Neil, why has Beaupre not pitched in the last month, given what appears to be, at least in the early going, some amazing stuff?
Well, they haven't needed him, for one thing. From a personal standpoint, the Bruins are deep staff-wise. And they also added the Palzer kid who came over from Valor Christian. He had to sit out the first half of the regular season, and that gave them something that they hadn't had before this season. Anyway, is that viable left-hander.
Well, Beaupre brings it on the gun. That's for sure.
Well, it's a nice luxury to have in high school. Too many pitchers.
Yeah, Mark Johnson has to be the envy of just about every coach nationwide, as Baird is retired shortstop to first. And not a single ball hit hard yet off Beaupre through 5 batters. The pitcher, Tyler Honahan, is a .377 man at the plate. A home run and 6 RBIs. He reached on an error yesterday in the loss to Regis.
Another one of those unlikely things in baseball. Throws the ball left-handed, hits right-handed.
Yeah, usually the other way around. There's the first hit of the game. Honahan clapping his hands as he put a nice dent in that one into left center field. It's scooped up by Farrell, and a base runner for the Titans with 2 out here in the second.
I think we just heard a collective sigh of relief from these guys.
Courtesy runner at first is TJ Covillo. Covillo comes on. Senior. His lone hit was against George Washington this year, but he sees a lot of action as a runner for the pitcher. Now Brooks Trujillo. Took the loss in the 4-0 game yesterday to Regis to put Legend in the championship game today. And yes, I said that correctly. The loss to put him here, otherwise a win. And it would have been a 2-game series for Legend to win one of them in the state crown.
He had pitched well enough to win the ball game without a doubt. But he got no offensive support whatsoever.
Trujillo tried to help his own cause with a hit and reaching on an error in yesterday's ball game. Late on that pitch, 1-2. Trujillo's stat line yesterday: complete games, 7-hitter, 4 runs, 2 earned. As he looks at a ball up high. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Where was that?
And he hit 2 men.
Hey, nice pitch, D.
The 2-2, swinging. A single by Honahan. He's stranded at first. 2 in the books. Beaupre has held the Titans scoreless. It's 2-0 Bruins.
Bruins up 2-0. Batting for the visitors in the top of the third will be Buka, Marion, and Jennings. The Colorado High School Activity Association would like to take this opportunity to thank Wilson Sporting Goods, one of the largest sporting goods manufacturers in the world, for their continued support and for providing the best game improvement products in the areas of football, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer, golf, and tennis to the student athletes in Colorado. Wilson, your official ball of basketball.
If I get in trouble,
Into the top half of the third inning, 2-0 Bruins.
2-0 Bruins, top of the third in the 5A Colorado State Championship game. The lights on here at the beautiful ballpark just south of the Mile High City. Top of the lineup, Dylan Muka. Singles, stole a base and scored a run as Lane Milligan drove him in. Looks at a ball low and away.
Be interesting to see what Cherry Creek does for the second time through the order against Nottingham, which adjustments are made and who's going to make them.
In the dirt again, 2-0. Muka, .525 on base percentage. Squares around showing bunt, pulls it back, and Honahan high again. Neil, how concerned should Scott Fellers be about the fact that Honahan, when he's missing, everything is upstairs?
Very concerned. He's also pitching behind in the count repeatedly, and that's not what you want to do here, obviously. It'd be interesting to see who he goes to after this. He's got a couple of options, I think, including Dahlbeck. But I think he's hoping that Honahan can go deep into the game.
Muka took strike one, fouled off strike two.
See, they had the advantage of being the undefeated team in a tourney for as long as they did. So they've saved some pitchers.
From the right side of the rubber, there's ball four. So he fell behind 3-0, battled back to 3-2, did Honahan. And Muka walks out, or earns a walk. He's reached base in both appearances at the plate today, exactly as Neil, as you were saying, what you look for from your leadoff man.
Well, and then here, I think that even Milligan swinging the bat so well, Legend would be smart to watch for the bunt here because I think he handles the bat pretty well.
Would you send Muka? He had a stolen base in the first.
Not right at the outset, no. I'd wait. You're up 2-0. Why force the issue? See?
Milligan slaps it down the line. Tough play. Honahan, the diving play. Got him at first. As Milligan slid head first into the bag. Advancing to second on the play, Muka. And the advancement, the sacrifice bunt successful. And a close play, a nice job by Honahan.
Do you sweat like I do when you see kids dive head first into first base?
Well, I don't sweat. I don't understand why they do it. It's proven to slow you down. There's no tag needed. It's a force play. And for Milligan, who knows? Maybe a different result if he didn't slide.
Drives me nuts, I got to tell you.
What's your beef with it?
I think it's dangerous, and you're too susceptible to injury that way. And as you said, I think the scientists or the physicists or whoever have proven...
People smarter than us.
Well, of which there are several, have proven that if you stay upright and stride, you get there faster.
Jacks, sky high. Peterson dumps the mask. Looking for it up against the fence, and that one literally straight down, no more than a foot or two from his glove, but on the outside of the backstop. So Jack's still alive.
He even came back a little bit because it hit the fence about where he jumped up with his glove. I don't know. I mean, you've got a guy at first base with his foot on a bag or running to the bag. Why is it necessary to extend your arms like you're diving into, the swimming pool or the ocean?
One and one with one out. Jacks whiffs at a ball that landed a couple feet in front of the plate, 1-2.
I also think that, if you got there faster when diving, we'd see that in the Olympics in 100 meters or the 200 meters or whatever, as opposed to leaning forward.
Valid point. Although that one an imaginary line, this one a physical object they have to step on.
End result, object point.
2-2 to number 22, Jacks, the number 3 hitter for the Bruins. He grounded out to the third baseman, Brooks Trujillo, in the first. Honahan to the set. The leadoff second by Muka. He's going. Hit and run action. Dahlbeck, it gets right through him. Coming in to score is Muka, his second run of the game. Creek up 3-0.
I think Bobby would like to have that one back. Wouldn't you agree?
An error on the shortstop. Almost looked like he took it too casually, maybe, Neil?
No, what I think is he was trying to keep his eye on the ball and see if he could throw out the runner at third base, even though he got a head start. And it just hopped over his glove.
Muka was running. He scores easily without a throw. Now the pitcher, Beaupre, who sees himself all of a sudden with a 3-run cushion.
Well, speed on the bases and starting your runners is even more relevant with today's bats, and that's good for baseball.
Jacks the leadoff first. Beaupre squirts it through the hole. Station to station as advancing to second on the play is Jacks. Beaupre with his first hit of the game. 2 on, 1 out for Cody Jenkins.
You know, when Derek hits it and meets it, he swings real nice and drives the ball very well, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
You can see it. I mean, the great hitters are the ones where they swing and then the ball jumps off the bat just like it's an extension, basically. And this kid has a pretty swing.
Well, there's a reason why he's thought of so highly, locally and nationally, is Derek Beaupre. Good to see so many familiar faces from the local media covering state championship baseball. What a thrill for these kids in a nearly packed house.
Well, you know, it's a thrill for the public, too. I've always thought Colorado was cool in that regard, even though I've seen so many changes over the last 32 years. But one constant is that they want to know what their kids are doing, you know, athletically in high school.
High and wide to Jenkins. Count square at 1.
Believe me, if I have something wrong or something they don't agree with, I hear about it. And that's okay.
Neil just moonlighting here this evening.
Well, I'm flying to Connecticut to ESPN for next week. Don't tell the paper or anything. I mean, you know.
Well, you just said it over the airwaves.
Well, I talked myself into problems before.
2-1 to Jenkins. He walked on a wild pitch in front of him. Thrown during his at-bat on a 3-2 count in the first. Honahan delivers right back at him, throws the bare hand at it. Play by the second baseman in time, reaches out the leg, does Thompson, and beating the runner Beaupre to the bag to get the out.
Well, he was called out. If he was in fact out, we're talking eyelash here.
We'll get another look. And not what you want to see from your pitcher either, as he throws out his bare hand.
Ooh.
A bang-bang play at second.
Very much so.
I thought Thompson was going to flip it to Dahlbeck, the shortstop who was covering. He didn't, just reached out the leg. And called out as Beaupre, so officially a fielder's choice for Jenkins as he stands on first with Jacks at third and 2 gone.
Interesting choice. I think he thought he could get there faster by foot than hand.
Fielder indifference by Peterson as Jenkins takes second base. So a couple runners in scoring position with Kang at the dish.
If Tyler's not able to get these 2 guys out, or get this guy out, and strand those 2 runners, I think Fellers has a decision to make, don't you?
It's slipping away as Kang sends that one over his dugout.
Legend isn't that prolific offensively. I mean, it isn't like they're a bunch of punch and Judy 220 hitters or something, but getting into slugfest like it used to be in the Continental League with the different bats and stuff hasn't been their forte this year. It's been pitching and defense.
Kang looks at a 1-1 from Honahan with 2 away here in the third. A strike.
Ethan makes you throw him a strike, doesn't he?
He does. He struck out to end the first. He's the 6th batter of record here in the third. Creek put up 2 in the opening frame, 1 so far with runners in scoring position. Kang to the shortstop Dahlbeck. Slides to his right, throw across. Baird with a nice stretch, and that'll do it in the top of the third. A run across. Dylan Muka scores his second of the game. 3-0 Bruins through 2.5.
Cherry Creek in the third with 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on base. They take a 3-0 lead into the home half of the third. Titans coming to bat with Ross, Gentry, and Orgel.
Bottom of the third we go. The Legend Titans find themselves down 3 runs to the Bruins. The Titans just one more than the minimum. A single was the lone base runner. It was the pitcher Tyler Honahan with 2 outs in the second, leading off the designated hitter in the 8th slot, Colin Ross.
Well, for all the things that Legend hasn't done well or had happened to it, they're down 3 runs. Big deal.
Can happen in a flash as Ross squares around and bunts that one foul. 300 hitter. He was a pinch runner throughout the day for Brooks Trujillo when Trujillo was the pitcher on Friday.
That was fairly nasty by Derek there.
Well, I think it's fair to say we've been spoiled by watching some fantastic pitching, sometimes not showing on the scoreboard as a foul tip and Ross stays alive.
No, the kids have been game out there. They really have. And we've seen a lot of it, like you said. I mean, every team. The teams that made the championship series in 5A, for example, every one of them had multiple throwers. And that's why they're here, basically. I mean, it's always about pitching.
Yep, as much as hitting may be sexy, pitching just like that from Beaupre on the strikeout is what gets you to championship weekend and potentially through. Ross down looking, the number 9 man, Jake Gentry.
You got to swing the bat. You're down 3 runs. You got 2 strikes. What do? You protect the plate.
Ross didn't do that in that appearance. Squaring around now is Gentry.
See, and as we get along here, if Legend is to make a move, there's stars. Dahlback and Honahan have to come through. It'll be very difficult for them to win if they don't.
A lot of guys squaring around on the bat, trying to bunt. Beaupre's big, but he seems to field his position quite well. He's an athlete out there.
Oh, extremely well, but look at the corners. Defensively, Creek's deep at both.
The 1-1. Dust cloud arises from that one.
There's the one position every year in high school where we have issues, and for obvious reasons. And I know from doing all-state teams all these years, man, it can be tough to pick the correct catcher. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I mean, it's the position players out in the infield, the outfield, and the throwers. Obviously, we throw a DH and a utility in too. I'll tell you, it's interesting with the catcher. The choice is very tough every year.
55-footer from Beaupre, the second runner of the game. It's the number 9 man Gentry as he draws a 5-pitch walk. Well, we talk about pitching versus hitting, and pitching getting you to championships. Mm-hmm. Defense, sometimes calling games even behind the plate. That's tough to identify from box scores. Takes a lot of research.
Very much so. And, really, they don't play, the schedules aren't that great where they can do that much catching and stuff. And as you suggested with the strategy, what pitch, where are you going to throw it, how are you going to throw it, all those things come involved. And then, we don't have a lot of thick catchers either. The guys in the major leagues, a lot of them are thick, particularly from the waist down, but they're all burly up top too.
Gentry gets his lead off first. It's the second base runner of the day. Another 55-footer from Beaupre. Laying off is the leadoff man, Orgill.
He hasn't reached the plate on the fly the last 2 offerings.
It's the way I'd look if I was out there. It's like being the man who throws the first pitch. We've seen some terrible ones over the years from celebrities.
Like you wouldn't believe. And as far as I'm concerned, President of the United States, I'll say this. Listen, I got to say this. I mean, at least when the younger Bush was president and he would go out there and throw it, hey, man, he fired a strike in there. I at least thought that was pretty cool, you know? When Obama did it, he had his White Sox jacket on. I forget what game. Was it the All-Star game or the opening season? One of the two. Man, I thought, go back to the basketball court, you know?
I have to tell you, got to meet the president earlier this year here in Colorado. He paid a visit again, yesterday?
Did he ask about me?
We talked about a lot, but he had to get going. He said there was more on his mind.
Yeah.
I assumed it was you.
Well-spoken guy, and I mean, you know, as far as I'm concerned, from where I sit anyway, it's an impossible job in so many ways. But I like it better when the president's got there and fire a fastball in there.
Maybe throwing the pitch is the easiest part of being the most powerful man in the world. Back-to-back walks issued by Beaupre, and the first real threat for the Titans with 1 out, and Tanner Thompson at bat.
Yeah, so you can see both sides here. 2, 3, 4s coming up. Looking for a double play grounder. Legends looking for some, you know, hitting. I think they find the gaps of the lines here too.
The middle infield at double play depth. The corners are even with the bag. Hyder tries to sneak in behind the runner.
Oh.
Right back to Beaupre. Tailor-made double play ball to second for 1. Back to first, and Beaupre takes care of the runners through 3 innings of play. It's the Bruins 3-0 after Beaupre induces the inning-ending comebacker to the mound.
Very well done. Did you see what he did there? Caught the grounder, turned, and fired the ball to the bag. The onus is on the relay man to get to the bag in stride and going forward so they can throw the ball to first base, and that was very well done.
Fans impressed by the turn from the Bruins. The top of the 4th on the other side.
Remember, all girls between the ages of 8 and 14 that have not yet started 9th grade can attend a sports camp this summer at the Sportswomen of Colorado. Sportswomen of Colorado provides scholarships to those girls in need. Go to Sportswomen of Colorado website for additional information. Now back to the 4th inning, Cherry Creek Bruins at the plate. Leading it off, designated hitter number 3, Matt Rindle.
Okay.
Top of the 4th we go. Cherry Creek fans happy with the results so far. 3-0 Bruins. As the DH Rindall looks at a first pitch strike.
I got to tell you, I've been doing this job way too long, of course. However, I have seen more double plays than I've ever remembered.
This season or this weekend?
This season.
Strike 2. Why do you think that is?
All year long. Well, for me, obviously the bats. And like I suggested earlier, the defenders have made the adjustments.
Can't argue balls and strikes, but Mark Johnson not holding back. The first pitch, I don't think he had a problem with. The second one, he probably thought was a little low to Rindall, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second.
Everybody's an umpire. Everybody's an official.
I've been very impressed with the umpiring in this championship series here. The 5A semis yesterday, the 4 and 5A final day of competition here today.
Yeah, you know, and you couldn't give me, say, the muscle car of my dreams to do it. I mean, these guys show up in their uniforms and the people hate them on principle. It's ridiculous.
It's almost like earplugs should come with the job.
Oh, well, or blinders or a suit of body armor.
Honahan delivers to the leadoff man in the 4th.
Yeah, say things like, "You're terrible. That's the worst call I've seen all year." And, I mean, you got to have some tolerance, which I don't have.
Well, the umpires got together earlier today, discussed the call, and overruled. It was a sacrifice fly, a diving catch made by the left fielder. Tagging from third was the runner. Initially ruled that he left the bag early on the appeal, as sliced to right off the bat of Rindahl, so the leadoff man on for the Bruins for the third time here this evening.
Yeah, you know, there's a change that's been coming over the years. The guys obviously want to get the call right and everything, but the conferencing things they do, I think, really adds to it, and like allays everybody's fears that they can at least say, well, at least they asked the other guy or whatever.
The two previous times the leadoff man reached, it was Dylan Muka. He scored both times. Now it's Rindahl who's leading off. The bunt, Honahan stumbles for a moment, flips to first. One away, advancing to second on the play is Rindahl.
Nothing wrong with that bunt, and it came from the number 7 hitter.
Hyder laying it down. And now the number 9 hitter, Grant Farrell, with Rindahl in scoring position. Top of the order to follow. Farrell popped out to the shortstop in the second to end it. Mark Johnson trying to add every run he can onto the board, as Honahan has time called just before he releases.
Yeah, very late, I'd have to say.
Well, we've seen some pitchers who still release it at that point. Others, like Honahan, able to hold on at times. No count to Farrell. Sky high, shallow left. Dahlbeck, a tap of the glove, moving toward the line. It's fair play. And popped out by Farrell. 2 away. The runner remaining at second. Top of the order, Muka. A single in the first. He came around to score. He walked in the third and made the stroll around the bases in that inning as well.
Big out for Honahan. Got the number 9 hitter. Now we got 2 outs. He should be okay.
Beautiful curveball drops in on the inner half. And what's interesting here is you've seen a lot of jockeying for position today from the second baseman and shortstop, trying to pat their glove and maybe a pickoff play at second. With 2 outs, looks like Honahan and the Titans just focusing on the runner at bat.
Well, and then also, if Legend is fortunate enough to get a bunch of runners on base.
As Muka sends one to center, it falls in front of Gentry. Bobbled, Muka heading for second on the error. Coming around to score is Rindahl. 4-0 Cherry Creek. So credit a single and an error on the center fielder, as Muka's reached all 3 times here today.
He's had quite a championship series, make no mistake. I mean, a weekend ago, he had the 2-run triple in a rally against Grandview, and then he scores a winning run on a sacrifice fly. And every game since then, he's really done something.
A major contributor so far in the title game this evening.
The ebb and flow of this game is not only unpredictable, but for me, it's extremely interesting. You could be 0 for 50 and then hit a tape measure shot.
And be the hero.
Yeah.
Lane Milligan 1 for 1. Singleton scored in the first, a sacrifice bunt to move Muka over in the third. There's 2 outs here as Muka stands on second base. 2 out RBIs. Muka delivered that one and brought in a run. In the air, shallow center. Gentry forced to come far, and it's off of Dahlbeck's glove. Probably should have been the center fielder's ball. It's dropped for the second error of the game by the shortstop. Another run comes in for Creek in the form of Dylan Muka, so he's scored 3 times today. That time coming from second base. Ending up on second is Milligan, so a 2-base error and a run put on the board as Dahlbeck drops another.
Boy, Bobby just did not look comfortable under that ball from the minute he went after it. And that's never a good idea.
Creek continues to extend its lead. 2 in the first, 1 in the third,
The sun
and 2
and
in the
wind.
fifth.
The sun and the wind can't help there either.
This one in the air as well. Dahlbeck gets a chance at redemption. Waiting for it. 2 hands on this one, makes the catch. And Cherry Creek sends 6 men to the plate in the fourth. The 2 men with singles come around to score. It's 5-0 Bruins through 3.5.
For Cherry Creek in the fourth, 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, 1 runner left on base. Cherry Creek takes the 5-0 lead into the bottom of the fourth. Coming about for the Legend Titans, Dahlbeck, Jenkins, and Bears.
The Bruins get 1 earned, 1 unearned in the top half of the fourth. Now it's Legends' chance trying to chip away. They trail by 5 and have been shut out so far. Dahlbeck, who's had his struggles in the field, a couple of errors at shortstop. He struck out to end the first, leads off here in the fourth.
I think Bobby would love to, lay into one here and, jog around the bases.
Well, trying to atone for his defensive lapses. Slow grounder, charging Jenkins. Throw across in time. Good play by the third baseman, Jenkins, getting Bobby Dahlbeck by a half step.
Watch, a little dribbler down the third base side. Third baseman comes in. Had a little trouble with his glove. Fires, still enough to get Dahlbeck, who runs very well. But we've seen a lot of those plays in this championship series where the third baseman hasn't come in or go to his right a little bit near the line and fire that thing across the diamond. We've seen a lot of those.
The cleanup man, Jenkins, looks at a strike. He grounded out to second to start the second.
You know, in so many ways, baseball is the game in which it's most realistic from the major leagues down to the high school level because of the rules of the game and the way it's being played and the way the players are developing. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, without a doubt. The only thing that
there's
throws me for a loop at high school is the courtesy runner.
Oh, don't even get me started. It's ridiculous. But it's designed to get kids in the game, help speed up the game, and use as many kids, in a teaching environment, which I'm okay with. But look at the NFL versus high school football, NBA versus high school basketball. Baseball's more close, I think.
Driven deep to right. Kang, few feet in front of the track. Easy out for him. Jenkins retired, 2 away. The first fly ball out off the bats of the Titans here this evening.
Despite the ball going to the outfield, really Legend hasn't put the ball in play in any danger areas against Cherry Creek, hasn't found any holes or anything, and before they know it, they're going to be down to just a few outs here.
Honahan had the lone hit so far for the Titans. That a single through the left side. He hit that one well. That's the only hard hit ball of the game against Beaupre.
They haven't had very many good swings here either. Tough so far.
Well, he's been on his game. That one back in our general direction.
And yes, I would have saved you.
I'm glad you know your role here.
You made it real clear before the game, man.
Beaupre ahead of the number 5 hitter. One hop to Taylor. Wide throw in time. No tag applied by Jax. hustling it out Baird, and Taylor with an error, the first miscue of the game defensively for the Bruins. A wide throw, and Jack's unable to slap the tag on Baird.
Yeah, just a one hopper to the second baseman, step, fire, and it just got away from him. It sailed on him. First baseman can't make the tag. Great
shot by our camera crew here on the CHSAA Network.
Reminiscent of the issues pertaining to Steve Sachs years ago. Hey, look, and that's the shortest throw in the diamond, but make no mistake, it's still a tough throw. You got to make the throw.
Sachs spent years working on it. Popped up, Beaupre after it. Foul territory. Catcher coming to his aid, and Beaupre, the catch and the smile at the Titans dugout. He's pitched 4 scoreless innings. It's 5-0 Beaupre and Cherry Creek.
For the Titans in the fourth, no runs on no hits, 1 Cherry Creek error, 1 runner left on base. We've gone through 4, 5-0 Bruins. Coming to bat for Cherry Creek, Beaupre, Jenkins, and Kane. Top half for 15, 5-8 state championship play. Cherry Creek 5, Legends 0. At the plate, pitcher number 5,
Top of the 5th we go, 5-0. Bruins advantage. The pitcher Beaupre, who caught the pop out and foul ground off the bat of his counterpart Tyler Honahan, steps in.
And isn't it interesting how many foul pops have we seen the pitchers catch? You know, never happens with the big leagues or even the college level.
No, they don't even let the pitchers field it.
No, they tell them get out of the way.
Well, that's what happened on the pop-up that Jax was involved in yesterday with Trujillo, where the two ran into each other. It was clearly the third baseman's ball, and the pitcher Trujillo came over. The two players stayed down for a couple minutes. The 0-1 to Beaupre, and dances out of the way of the breaking ball. That one behind his heels.
The only thing I can think of is that not only are the pitchers, very athletic, but I think they have the best view of those balls as well. They can react accordingly.
2-1. Well, the pitcher's untouchable here when the courtesy runner comes in. In the major leagues, they're not even allowed to field a pop-up. We saw what happened to Mariano Rivera about a month ago in batting practice.
Well, you got to protect them somehow. But, at least in the National League, they bat. So if they're throwing at people for one thing, they also can get thrown at. I like that idea, to tell you the truth. I think that evens the playing field.
Tit for tat.
Well, they baby him too much. I mean, even in high school, I think pitch counts, frankly, are overrated if you're listening out there. And for me, just because you pitch doesn't mean you can't run the bases, too, because Cliff Lee of the Phillies said it in spring training. The National League is more like real baseball, and they use him as a pinch runner. And I think the guys like being part of the game. We're going to have a courtesy runner right here.
Leadoff walk issued to Beaupre.
I don't see what's to be gained by going down and sitting down.
Gillette will courtesy run for Beaupre, who's now reached in his last 2 plate appearances. Squaring around to bunt Jenkins, the ball ran in on him, and he fouls it off down the third base side.
Well, if Derek was playing first base, bet your house deed, he'd be standing on the first base now, not a courtesy run.
Sure. Shadows creep into the infield on the left side.
Boy, look at it blow.
I've been protected all day up here with you, Neil. Go outside between games and you get a sense of just how gusty it is.
And it's ridiculous. Then to the kids' credit, though, we haven't had that many shaky plays.
Nobody out, the leadoff man on. Running Gillette, popped up. Gillette retreats, the ball out of play and just shy of the stands on the first base side.
I'm telling you, it hasn't been a very athletic crowd this whole series. Catch the foul balls. What are they, mad they can't keep the ball and they got to throw it back or what?
The athletes on the field and in the dugouts here this weekend at All City. Tyler Honahan, a good example of that. And he's got the dirt on his pants to show it. Gillette away from first. Honahan on the 0-2. We'll do it again as Jenkins sends one straight back.
I think that's far enough as far as Tyler's concerned. I mean, it's 5-0. You can't let it get any worse for them to have a realistic chance, but see what he does here.
No action in either pen at this point. Curveball hit into right center field. Giving chase is Jenkins, and he makes the running catch. The throwback as Gillette tries to retreat to first. He's there. It gets away momentarily from Baird, but Gillette 2 feet on first base, and a nice play in the outfield by Jenkins to track that one down.
That's what you call running one down in the gap. Done very well. Across his body as well.
Jake Jenkins retires Cody Jenkins. Ethan Kang steps in. A strikeout and a groundout in 2 plate appearances. A runner on first for him with 1 away. In the on-deck circle is Matt Rindahl.
Cherry Creek's definitely hit the ball harder all game.
Honahan's curve stays up. Peterson snaps to grab it.
I couldn't figure that pitch. It looked like he was, did he let it go too soon or too late? He struggled with coming down the hill, too, after completion of the throw.
That's a fastball low. The majority of times when he's missed, it's been the fastball high here tonight.
Cherry Creek again, very patient at the bat.
Creek's been in this title game 12 times, 7 times the victors. Runner goes off first. Kang to protect him. Jenkins right there. The catch by Jenkins. He's caught 2 straight. Gillette back to first, 2 away.
Legend very, very fortunate there, too, because base runner had stolen that bag on the pitcher, even though he's left-handed.
The batter always swings to protect the stealing runner. And in some cases, you may cost yourself a strike or even an out, as Kang did there.
Yeah, he could, if he was looking that way, he could have avoided it.
Strike 1 to Rindahl. A ground out, a single. He scored in the 4th. Gillette going again. This one hit to center on a line. Over to his left is Gentry. He has it on his chest. A walk, a man left for Cherry Creek. 5-0 Bruins as we go to the bottom of the 5th in the 5A state championship game.
Right here in 5A baseball state action, Cherry Creek 5, Legend 0.
Bottom 5. Derek Beaupre has shut out and one hit the Titans through 4. His Bruins have 5 runs on the board. He's contributed at the plate with a single and a walk. His hit total has matched the number he's given up. Strolling to the plate, Neil, is Brooks Trujillo, the third baseman.
Legend down to 9 outs in the regulation amount of innings. It really needs to get something going here. They need to at least chip into it, and that's how you begin it, by doing it. Just getting some base runners.
Good to see Creek alumnus Brandon Duman in the crowd here this evening. There's a strike from Beaupre. 1-1 to Trujillo.
Both of these followings have been pretty fantastic all series long. Obviously, the crowds have grown as the games have gained importance, but you know, it's just really good for the kids to come here and see all city stands filled.
The first base side behind the Creek dugout is full. On the left side, which the third base side for Legend, it's about, 80% of the seats occupied. Trujillo swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. 1-2.
Titans can't hold their heads here. They have to battle each at bat. You know, there's been like some lulls in the game and stuff like that. It's easy to buy into.
Trujillo down on strikes. Beaupre's 4th of the afternoon. And 8 outs remaining for Legend.
Simply overmatched. Period. End of story. It happens.
Action about to get going in the Creek pen, as Beaupre's been so solid and throws in a strike to Colin Ross, who was caught looking to start the third.
You know, for what it's worth, his pitch count is good. It's low. He hasn't labored. And this is a big inning for Derek in so many ways. I mean, he's facing 7, 8, 9 here. If he can get through 5, getting through the bottom of the order, the Creek's got to be feeling good about it.
You have to wonder why you'd even stop at that point. But this is basically Game 7 of the World Series as far as it stands. This is the last game of the year. As Beaupre back-to-back strikeouts, he gets Ross for the second time today. So you might as well have your guns up and loose.
All hands on deck, and you know, who knows? They might be, you know, just put a position player in right now as well, if they think they need to. But Derek looks good. He's humming along. He looks strong.
Just missed the outside corner on the first pitch to Gentry. He walked in the third, advanced to second, and that's where his stay on the bases was ended. Beautiful strike at the knees on the outside edge from Beaupre. Throws a pitch, he's right back looking for the sign from his catcher, Lane Milligan. Squaring around a bunt, showing it as Gentry pulling it back. The pitch too high.
He's working really fast too, and Legend isn't doing that much to interrupt his rhythm.
Three and one.
It's funny, a year ago, Cherry Creek got out-hit by Regis, which just kept bopping him out of the yard and into the gaps and stuff. Now they're, you know, tossing a shutout.
A piece for Gentry. The count runs full. Creek, the runner-ups to Regis a year ago, looking for the ultimate hardware here this season. Full count, 2 away. Ball 4 high and wide. So Gentry wins the battle with Beaupre. Back to the top of the order, and Connor Orgill.
It's universal on any level. Walking the number 9 hitter is, of course, ridiculous.
Well, Gentry's gotten 2 free passes of the 3 that have been given up by Beaupre.
Exactly.
Just a bit high there on Orgill. He's got the other walk here this evening for the Titans. He also grounded out to start the game. Beaupre to Jax. One of our young fans in attendance. Runner going. Taylor with another opportunity after an error an inning ago. Easy chance. A walk, 1 left. Beaupre's pitched 5 strong. Mark Johnson gives him congratulations, and to the second baseman, Zach Taylor. The Bruins 6 outs away from the 5A state title.
No errors. Nobody left. I'm sorry, 1 runner left. At the end of 5, 6-0. Excuse me, 5-0, Cherry Creek. Top of the 6th. Hyder, Farrell, and Bridget.
Pitching change in the top of the 6th inning for the Legend Titans. The right fielder, Jake Jenkins, comes in. He'll take the rubber, and Tyler Honahan's day is done. 5 runs allowed, 3 errors in front of him. For Jenkins, a 5-2 mark, 4.39 ERA. He's thrown 51 innings this season. 10 appearances, 8 as starts, so this just his 3rd time in relief. Finds himself in a 5-0 hole in his job right now, Neil. Don't make it any worse.
Period. End of story. That's the way it has to be. I mean, they're already down 5 runs. And the last thing this guy wants to do is to start walking people or giving up hits and stuff. Conversely, not the greatest outing by Honahan. He has to face up to that. And, you know, it happens and stuff. But I'm sure he's thinking in his mind that standing there right field, hopefully it won't affect his fielding, that, you know, he'd like to have those innings back against Cherry Creek. He didn't show them what he's been all about all season.
The number 8 hitter, Andy Hyder, leads off. He popped out foul to the first baseman, Baird, in the 2nd, and dropped down a sacrifice bunt to advance Matt Rindahl, who came around to score later in the 4th. Just 1 lone hit from the Titans here this evening, that coming in the 2nd inning from Honahan. Hyder pulls that one to left. It's foul.
Funny game. Yesterday's hero today has popped up and sacrificed his first 2 at-bats.
Well, he had a nice first game today against Regis and has been a little bit less involved here in the 2nd. Behind in the count, 0-2.
And that is the nature of the beast, and that's why it's one of the many reasons why we're watching the coolest game.
To Dahlbeck.
Oh, boy.
A game to forget for the junior. He had an error yesterday. He has 3 errors today. The leadoff man on in Hyder. It's an E6.
Yeah, Bobby just comes up on this ball, and he can't do that. I mean, you know, Little League, everybody knows you're taught put that glove in the dirt, and, you know, Bobby didn't. And a lot of times, if you don't want that ball, it's amazing how many times that ball will find you.
It's got eyes, does it to the shortstop. Squaring around is Farrell, who's popped out to Dahlbeck both times here tonight.
You know, even if there's just a hint of doubt or you're disgusted with yourself that you didn't make the plays, make no mistake, that ball will keep finding you.
Well, it has today for Dahlbeck. He's got 3 of the 4 errors for the Titans squad. Squaring around again, Farrell gets it down the first base line, fielded and thrown by Jenkins. 1 away, advancing to second is Hyder.
Another good play by the Legend defense there, because, I mean, let me tell you something. It may look simple, but finding or fielding and defending against sacrifices, it's not as easy as it looks. You got to get to the ball, step and throw and beat the runner. There's a lot going on there.
Mark Johnson has used it a lot in this game with his team up 5-0. 3 sacrifice bunts, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and now 1 in the 6th. As Dylan Muka, who has scored 3 times, steps in. He singled and stole a base in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, singled in the 4th, and on an error by the center fielder, advanced around.
Hey, let me tell you something. Mark Johnson, he's 4 years, okay? As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. There's a lot of envy going around with him, and he's at the largest school, and the kids come in, blah, blah, blah. This guy has forgotten more baseball than a lot of us know.
Muka to left center field. Orgill gives chase. He's there in front of the track. Skating back and forth is Hyder. So for the first time today, Dylan Muka will take a seat after having the bat in his hand.
Think back to the days of Darnell McDonald when Cherry Creek had the great run, okay? Anybody else's ball team, he would have taken a regular turn on the mound. Mark was smart enough to have the other players and develop them and only use him as a closer. He knew where his future was. That's the best baseball player I've seen here in 32 years.
McDonald, of course, playing in the major leagues. 2 away for the number 2 hitter, Lane Milligan, with Andy Hyder on second.
You know, he took forever to get to the big leagues, but, you know, still for me, I get a little tickled when I see, you know, Darnell and Halliday and the other guys who played here up in the big leagues. You know, you feel a part of it a little bit.
Well, you've had a run like Johnson has.
His was a little better. Don't you think?
You have less state championships, I guess. Maybe you've been to more games than he has.
Yeah, I think so. But he catches and surpasses me in the summer.
Milligan 1 for 2 with one of those sacrifice bunts. Looks at a ball well wide. 2-1.
Jenkins is okay here. 2-1 count. 2 down. He doesn't have to give in to him, even though he's a number 2 hitter. He needs 1 out and he gets out of it.
Wind gusts right to left continue. Peterson can't find it initially, then can't grab the handle. We'll see if they call it a pass ball or a wild pitch. A 3-1 count on Milligan as Hyder finds himself at third.
There's an underrated aspect that, as far as I'm concerned, the Bruins have done well over the decades. Hey, man, they run the bases with abandon. I mean, they really do, and smartly, as far as I'm concerned.
A single would bring in another run. Milligan to right field. Back is Honahan. Over his head, it's in the gap. In to score is Hyder around first, and into second with a stand-up double is Milligan. An RBI for the catcher, and the Bruins up 6-0.
Just a really, really good shot where he squared up, drove the ball right up the alley. Hey, listen, Milligan is an underrated player on this baseball team. Watch this. Squares it up real nice, finds the gap, base of the wall. Easy run scorer for the Bruins. He gets to second base. He runs very well for a catcher.
Now Jacks, deep left, on the track, making the catch is Orgill to end the inning. A run across, though, for the Bruins. Hyder reached on an error by Dahlbeck to start it, and Milligan brought him in. 6-0 Cherry Creek, bottom of the 6th. The Titans need a spark. The Bruins by 6 in the bottom of the 6th. Beaupre back to the mound. There was a slight bit of action in the Bruins' pen. Beaupre gave up a walk in the 5th, coupled with a couple strikeouts and a ground out. Tanner Thompson comes to the plate. He's grounded to the shortstop and a double play back to the pitcher.
Hey, you know, if I'm Mark Johnson, Derek has settled in. He's mowing him down. Leave him out there, you know?
Well, look at the number of hits that hang on the board. It's 3 less than the number of errors by the Titans.
It's not the crooked number that Legend had envisioned.
Beautiful sunset behind us and to our west as the lights now start to take effect at All City.
Oh.
High fastball right past Thompson, 1-2.
Legend helping him a little bit, and he cannot do that.
A magical run in the second half of the season for the Titans. Forced to throw down as Milligan, a strikeout to start the 6th for Beaupre.
Hey, listen, we began the season at the Denver Post with, you know, Cherry Creek ranked first. But, I mean, let's face it, this is baseball. It's not like those other games where the biggest, fastest, strongest, quickest, whatever, usually win a ridiculous amount of the time. This game, somebody can be out there throwing peas. Somebody can be ripping shots right at fielders. The number 9 hitter can kill you. Your star can throw the ball all over the place. You might not be able to pitch.
And a guy like Bobby Dahlbeck can have 3 errors.
Exactly.
In 6 innings in the field.
And ask Bobby about it. I mean, you know, you didn't see it coming. He's been terrific all year. But hey, not to sound like, you know, too cliches or something, but I mean, let's face it, it's true. That's baseball.
A strikeout, a ground out in his 2 prior appearances. A fastball from Beaupre in the low 90s on the outer corner.
You know, I think Mark likes the fact that, I mean, you know, even up here through this glass, Beaupre's popping a glove here.
2 tall, 3-1.
You know, and Derek's facing, you know, 2, 3, 4. Maybe Legend's last chance, maybe not. See if they can get around the order again.
2 was Thompson. He struck out. A walk to Dahlbeck gives a 1-out runner for the Titans.
With their 6th base runner?
The 4th walk. There was a single and an error. So 6 men have reached.
Now, Coach Fellers, no, that's not going to get it done. But, I mean, hey, look, in this game, there is 0 clock. They can bat for 2 days in a row. Unlikely, but they've got his chance.
I have dinner reservations in a little bit, so hopefully it's not 2 full days.
I can cover you.
Jake Jenkins looks at a ball. 5 of the last 6 pitches from Beaupre have been out of the zone.
His velocity's been there, though.
There is that pop you talk about at the knees on the outside corner.
He hasn't really been ahead or behind that much. You know, no rhyme or rhythm to it. He's just, you know, throwing it up there and battling, challenging it. Legend. Here, hit it.
The cleanup hitter Jenkins behind in the count 1-2. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out.
You know, like
everybody's 0 for 2.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, like you said earlier, how many balls have they hit hard?
Just one. The hit by Honahan. Beaupre wanted that one, just missed off the corner.
I think all the Creek people wanted that one. There wasn't a lot of movement there from the catcher.
Well, if you see a man throw a straight fastball, Beaupre does just that. The ball does not move at all. It's straight from arm to glove. And another full count here to Jake Jenkins. So a walk to the number 3 man, Dahlbeck. Now Jenkins in a 3-2. Ball 4. Bullpen's going to get busy.
I would imagine so, but you know what? Again, you know, with the change of the bats this year, the defense has been so good. For me, the opportunities for double plays have increased greatly.
Coming in at first base, the runner for the Titans is TJ Cavillo. He was the courtesy runner in the second as well when Honahan reached.
You know, it's a nice time for Cherry Creek and Mark Johnson to just go out to say, look, Derek, there's one out. You need 2 more. You got 2 kids on base. Number 5 hitter's up. Let's go here. That's all that needs to be said.
Well, he's thrown a lot of strikes. He has walked 4 men as well. 5 outs away from the 8th time the Bruins would be the champions in 5A if Beaupre can record.
First inning, they've had 2 base runners, the Titans? I believe so.
There's a strike. A runner in the second. Back-to-back walks in the third from Beaupre with 1 out. That's the situation here as well, as the pitcher drills in a fastball at the knees on the inner half to Baird to jump ahead. Playing behind the runners, and there's a ground ball to short. To his right, Hyder, long throw across the reach, and gunned at the base is Baird, and the throw by Hyder. So 2 away, runners advance on second and third for the number 6 hitter, Honahan, who has the lone Titans hit of the day.
That was a large out, especially considering that Hyder elected not to go to second base, make the long throw on really a slow hit ground ball, get the call. If he doesn't, there's still 1 out and the bases are loaded. Then you term it as interesting, you know.
Jackson, nice job keeping that right foot on the bag. Beaupre looks as strong now as he did in the first. Ahead 0-1 on Honahan.
Here's a chance for Tyler Honahan to get a little bit of satisfaction. He finds a gap here. Hey, Legends right back in the game.
A single in the second. He popped out foul to Beaupre in the fourth. Way out ahead as Beaupre changes speeds. 0-2.
Haven't seen many of those tonight, have we?
Beaupre's thrown hard, harder, and hardest. And that one he took a lot off, and Honahan swung through. The 0-2, maybe the hardest pitch of the night from Beaupre, down swinging Honahan. 2 left on base for the Titans. 6-0, we head to the 7th here on CHSAA.tv.
Bruins lead at 6-0. On the bat for Cherry Creek, both Gray, Jenkins, and
No, bottom 7. The top is 7. Bro, you're coming over to me. Yeah, but... Come on, Derek.
7th inning. All City Stadium. A long day of baseball is 6 outs away from its conclusion if The batter now can shut the door on the Titans in the bottom half. Beaupre's got a hit and a walk. He's only given up one base knock. That to Honahan, the starter for Legend. 6-0 Bruins. First pitch high from Jake Jenkins. 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the last inning.
This is an interesting at-bat for Derek. Maybe the last one of the year. I'm sure he's thinking long ball. He's had a dry spell recently towards the end of the regular season and into the playoffs and stuff. Everybody knows he's, very, very gifted. He homers here. A little something for everybody to think about.
Well, he's a junior. He'll come back for one more year for Johnson's squad. A lot of seniors out there. This may be their last ever competitive baseball in their lives.
Well, really, not many seniors on Cherry Creek, but a lot of these kids play for Mark in the summer and other leagues.
Ripped into the gap in right center field. Beaupre's second hit of the day. He's out hitting the Titans himself. The leadoff man on a shot to right center. Courtesy runner once again is Gillette.
If I may get this in, you can't understate how important it is to run for those 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids. And if that drips with sarcasm, you got what I was trying to tell you.
The only piece I like about it, is that the senior Alex Gillette can say that he was in a championship game.
Well, listen, I'm all about participation. However, I'm also a guy who doesn't believe that every Little League kid who plays should get a trophy, championship or not. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the way of the world now is medal for everyone or medal for no one, as Jenkins swings and fouls off the first offering. With a runner on first and nobody out for the Bruins. 6-7-1 Cherry Creek, 0-1-4 for Legend.
Haven't always agreed with the world, but, I appreciate your point in terms of getting another kid into the game. I think that's cool.
You could do that, too, just by pinch running him and having him stay in the field for the last half of the seventh.
Hence my point.
Jenkins is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Get two.
Taylor made double play ball. Dahlbeck bobbles initially. Gets the lead runner at second. Safe at first is Jenkins. No chance for Tanner Thompson once the ball was bobbled by Dahlbeck.
If Legend should go on to lose this game, hanging its head is not what's in order here. They've had a terrific season. They got another at bat. Let's see what happens.
Kang's been quiet tonight. Swings and misses at the changeup offering. A strikeout, a ground out, and a flyout. One down with Rindahl awaiting. He's got a hit and scored a run in the fourth. Gillette away from first. Kang reaches for it. Hit to Trujillo to second for one. Back to first. Double play.
Come on, Derek, let's go.
6.5 gone by. Legends' last licks. Coming up on the other side of this break. Trujillo, Thompson to Baird. A nice defensive play. Beaupre just 3 outs away from the complete game shutout.
We'd like to remind everybody at the conclusion of the baseball game there will be trophy and plaque presentation on the field. Please keep all access to the field clear and remain off the fences and walkways during the plaque and trophy presentation. Thank you kindly for your cooperation.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Derek Beaupre has been the story tonight. A one-hit shutout. Josh Gross alongside the Rex Ryan of CHSAA baseball coverage. Neil Devlin. Ball 1 to Brooks Trujillo.
Interesting little note about this Trujillo kid here. Beat George Washington right before spring break on this field. Pitched a wonderful game the first weekend of the championship series, and then took a hard luck loss when he got the ball again before they went to their other two big pitchers. One he could have won, but he got no offensive support. I mean, I think he's done a terrific job, this kid, in spot duty.
Trujillo pitched a day ago, took the loss 4-0. His team just 3 outs away from losing its biggest game in franchise history. The goal now is get on any way possible. Trujillo stays alive. And I'll tell you what, Neil, the lights came on, an hour ago? And it's one of those times of night, it's just like thinking about, I think, the headlights on your car. They're on. They don't do that much, though. And with the speed of Beaupre, it's probably a little bit more challenging.
Point taken. However, what you may not know is that on a number of high school fields, football and baseball, the lighting is poor. They don't have enough banks of lights. They really don't.
Trujillo's had a night to forget. 3 strikeouts in 3 plate appearances. Substitution coming for legend. The DH, Colin Ross, he's struck out twice. Is being replaced by the junior, number 22, Mickey Peterson, a .250 batting average on the season.
Your attention, please.
No home runs, 4 driven in. So a switch. Peterson was the man who was not at bat as the DH was taking his spot. Now he gets a chance.
You got to hand it to Beaupre here. I mean, he hasn't pitched in a month or whatever, something ridiculous. He takes the ball to the championship game when the other guys have been taxed, throwing, or another kid's injured for punching something in the dugout or whatever. He goes out there and mows him down.
Out in front, Peterson, 0-2.
I mean, you really do. I mean, this isn't for everybody. This kid's been in command. He's throwing a one-hitter.
Doesn't seem phased at all by the situation. 3 straight strikeouts, and the Bruins 1 out away from the state championship. The Cherry Creek faithful on their feet. It's been a long day of baseball for them. Had to beat Regis to get here. Ball 1. Jake Gentry at bat. The number 9 hitter has walked twice against Beaupre. He's had the best day of anyone in the batter's box as he's ahead 2-0.
Bruins can taste it, can't they?
They're ready. The fans are ready. The staff here, I think, is ready. Just missing at the knees.
Yeah, a little plug for those guys as far as I'm concerned. Listen, the people who run All City Stadium all the way around, from tracking down the baseballs to the box score to the announcing to handling it to food, whatever, they do a great job.
3-0 fastball for a strike. .3-1 is fouled off.
I'm trying to remember here all the championship games I've seen. I got to tell you, I think that Beaupre's performance here today has been as effective about as I've ever seen.
He has issued 4 free passes, but just 1 hit against. And all zeros on the board for the Titans in the run column.
It's really been of no consequence. None whatsoever.
The 3-2. Grounder to the second baseman, Taylor. On over to first, Jacks. Cherry Creek, the 5A state champions. They've climbed the mountain with a titanic performance. 2 victories today, 1 over Regis, 1 over Legend. And Cherry Creek, for the 8th time in school history behind Coach Mark Johnson, can call itself the best in Colorado.
and well done. I mean, listen, I don't think the public out there realizes just how difficult it is for these kids to win. I mean, it's an accomplishment. The competition they go against is very good. There's ebb and flow into the season. There's changing weather. There's all kinds of things. To actually go out there and do it, make no mistake, you cannot underestimate that accomplishment. It's really wonderful.
Scary thought for the opponents next season of the Bruins. Derek Beaupre, who didn't pitch that much this year, has another season left under his belt. He throws a one-hit shutout here on Championship Saturday night of Memorial Day weekend. Congratulations to Mark Johnson and his coaching staff and the Cherry Creek Bruins overall.
Now here's something, as you're watching, it's imperative on a high school level. No matter what happens, this comes from an educational background. You must give some credence to your opponent. They must have done something to beat you. I don't think going through the lines and shaking hands and wishing the other well, win or loss, is too much to ask.
Well, they're out there crossing the infield right now. High fives and some hugs from some of the guys. Dylan Muka, the leadoff man, the center fielder, scored 3 runs. He got on the first 3 times he was up. But the story today is Derek Beaupre. In 4 plate appearances, he goes 2 for 3. He out-hits the Titans himself. And his pitching performance is one for the ages, Neil.
Well, Derek has proven himself a wonderful player. I mean, besides the fact that he hadn't thrown that much recently, listen, this is a guy who has all this hype, and he was doing it for a while, beyond the halfway mark of the season. And then trust me, he had his cold spell here where he wasn't doing much at the plate. To his credit, I guess is what I'm telling you, he didn't take it with him to the mound. He went out there for his team, threw the ball, and he was fine.
What type of confidence boost does this give to him, knowing that his coach, in the biggest game of the year, had confidence to give him the ball?
Oh, well, it's immense. I mean, let's remember, it's Mark Johnson. Listen, Mark Johnson knows what's going on in Colorado high school baseball. Period, end of story. These are the little nuanced things that he knows and reacts to accordingly. Now, for Derek, it must make him feel very good that a guy with Johnson's stature did just that for him.
Certainly one of the most legendary coaches in Colorado sports history is Mark Johnson, a U.S. Olympic national team U18 coach, and he's been with the Bruins for 4 decades. He celebrates an 8th national title as the hardware given to the Cherry Creek squad, donning the gray uniforms with royal blue trim. And for Cherry Creek, yet another state title this season. The dominance continues for the school of nearly 4,000.
Yeah, you know what, too, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, there's stories here and there about him, but, I mean, I got to tell you, I always thought Cherry Creek knew how to lose before it knew how to win. They win a lot. They don't have a lot of problems in that area. I mean, people can argue that and everything, but listen, these guys are okay. Sometimes it doesn't go their way. Sometimes it goes against them, or other people just assumes that it's that way. Listen, these guys know how to handle themselves. They just do as a school. It's a wonderful academic institution. It's been there forever. It's the target. It takes a lot of crap in that area. And then conversely, for Legend, I mean, first taste of what it takes to, to go and do something big time. And these kids will remember that, for as long as they live, and they should.
It's first state title game in any sport. Congratulations to Coach Scott Fellers and his crew, the the state runner-ups here in 5A, a 19-6 season is the finish. The Cherry Creek Bruins 24-3. A team celebration by home plate. That'll do it for us. This presentation has been brought to you by the Play On Sports Network. For our producer Brandon and Neil Devlin, I'm Josh Gross, our entire camera crew saying so long from All City Stadium. Championship game films available on DVD at prepfilms.com. Great to have you with us throughout the broadcast. The Cherry Creek Bruins behind a one-hit shutout from Derek Beaupre. 6-0 the victors. State championship number 8.